welcome to another episode of Andrea's Corner. Today we have the cast of the newly released film based on the novel. It's Uncle Tom's Cabin, written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Please welcome our cast.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi.
Pleasure.
Hello.
Okay, Jordan Neal.
Yes.
You play George Harris.
Yes, I
He
do.
is an intelligent slave. Now tell me, why did you decide to move to Canada?
To be honest, there's multiple reasons why I decided to take that leap of faith and attempt to escape to Canada. The main reason was the way I was treated. I was treated poorly. I didn't believe that I was treated rightly for how I was so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very intelligent man, and I just thought that I deserved better. And the main factor, though, that drove me to ultimately just leaving, taking
Mm-hmm.
that risk, is how I was treated by my slave owner. He was a very cool man when he brought me back. He just did terrible things to me. He made me do deadly labor all day, no sleep, nothing. He even had his kids whip me. He at one point killed my dog, which for no reason, for no apparent reason, he just did it. And he also attempted to make me leave my wife, and that one right there just killed me. I was just like,
Yes.
no way I'm living this life anymore. And his actions drove me to just developing a hatred for slavery, and I was like, there's no way I could live this way anymore. And the risks that were involved with attempting to escape to Canada, I thought those risks were worth escaping to a new life. Living this way wasn't living at all, so I thought that was the best choice for me.
Okay, and so then eventually your family went to go meet you in Canada,
Yes, we did meet in Canada.
and then you moved to Liberia.
Yes, we eventually moved to Liberia. I got an education in France, and we decided to move to Liberia because I thought it was the best choice for us. Moving back to the U.S., it came to mind, but ultimately I didn't think it was the right choice because of the way we were treated before. I felt that in order to live in the U.S. the way I wanted to, we had to be white. We had to attempt to have that white persona, yes. And I thought that in order to live the way I wanted to live and to live freely, I had to just move back to Liberia. And I thought that was the best choice. I could live freely there.
And be yourself.
Yes, and be myself without any problems.
Exactly. Thank you, George Harris. And we have here Simon Legree. You play a vicious slave owner.
Yeah.
So tell me, why are you so insistent on breaking down Tom?
Well, the main reason I was so insistent on breaking down Tom was because I thought he was just going to be another slave just working for me.
When you bought?
Well, yeah, when I purchased him from the slave trader. And most of my slaves are normal, pretty good. But him, he was kind of interesting because he always kept talking about God and religion. And me not being a religious man, it just upset me so much because I hate people forcing ideas around me. It just it drives me insane. So,
And so did you treat all of your slaves like that, or just Tom?
it's actually just Tom because, I've never had someone so persistent with religion and other ideals trying to just speak their mind. And with him, every time he disobeyed, he knew the consequences, but he still kept doing it. Whereas, like my other slaves, they would learn not to talk back to me or any of the other people that work with
Right.
me. Yeah.
And then what drove you to want Tom dead?
What drove me is I just kind of developed this hatred inside. It just kept eating away at me, and if I didn't solve the problem quick, I knew that it would just drive me completely insane.
So the only solution was to kill him.
Basically.
Okay. Thank you. Then we have Elisa here. She, a brave young slave. So tell me, why did you decide to escape?
Well, my son, Jim, was going to be exchanged for the payment of the mortgage for the Shelbys, and once I heard this, I was heartbroken because my son was going to be taken away from me, from my
Yes.
arms, from
Yes.
me nurturing him, and I thought this was the best choice. There was no other way for him to be out of reach.
Okay, and so about your son almost as if you were just an item or an animal. And okay, what forced you to take the leap of faith across the Ohio River?
Well, there were slave traders trailing behind me and my son, and I thought we have to do this because there was no other opportunity for us to gain our freedom, and I thought this was the very best choice for me and my son. I couldn't let him go back to the way of life back in the U.S. To Mr. and Mrs. Shelley.
Even though it was a very, very dangerous
Yes,
journey.
I was going to take the risk.
That's really inspiring. Thank you. And then we have Tom here, and you are the main character in the book, the protagonist.
Yes.
Good man, religion. So, why were you so respectful to your trade owner, even though he treated you very poorly?
Well, Simon Legree, he was very disrespectful to me. Let's start with that. He was disrespectful to me because so I still had to treat him with respect because it was part of my Christian ways. Even though he was disrespectful to me, I still had to treat him with respect. Like in the Bible, it says, "Respect your neighbor." So I had to respect him, even though he wasn't really the nicest man in the world. I still had to respect him as my owner and as a person.
Okay, and so then you had, in the book, you had the chance to escape, but you didn't. Why?
It was a part of the law, you know. As a slave, only the slave owner can tell you when you're free and when they release you for freedom. So just because of the law, I didn't want to do that. I knew I had a chance, but just like any other slave, they probably would do that. But because it's the law, I didn't want to do that and take that chance.
Even if it meant freedom.
Yes.
Okay, and so in the book we have the little girl named Eva. She is the daughter of a slave trader. Why did you decide to jump in for Eva when she was drowning in the water?
Because Eva was so close to me because she was a little girl that taught me about Christianity. She taught me about the religion and how to act in a proper manner. And she was just such a nice, respectful little girl, in that she didn't see color. She saw color literally,
Yes.
but like through the eyes of racism and slaves, she didn't see that.
The
She
difference between black and white.
Yeah, she didn't see that. So that's why I respected her, and I liked her as a person, as a nice little girl.
That's really sweet. Okay, so thank you for watching Andrea's Corner. We will see you next time in another episode.